You knew it was coming. New York Attorney General LETITIA James is still on the hunt for Donald Trump, even after a ruling for $500 million was overturned as excessive, even after Donald Trump wins the presidency. Of course, you got, I don't know, evil stepmother. I don't know what she's trying to play here, but let's take a look.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Governor, for convening us. I want to take a moment to thank everyone who ran for office, those who were victorious, and those who didn't get the results that they worked for. There is nothing more difficult than running for office, and our democracy is better off because of your efforts. We also achieved an important step in our efforts to protect our right to choose in New York, and I want to thank Sasha Ajua for all of her efforts and Donna Lieberman of ACLU for all that they have done to get us to that point. Thank you to all of those who worked so hard to enshrine that right in our Constitution and protected generations to come. I also want to thank New Yorkers for showing up in record numbers to the polls to exercise your most basic and sacred democratic right. And lastly, I congratulate the President-elect Donald Trump. And if possible, we will work with his administration. But we will not compromise our values or our integrity or our principles. We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result.
What result were you expecting? Now, this is interesting. This is concerning because Fonnie Willis, Jack Smith, all these people that put these cases on Donald Trump, apparently they were expecting a certain result. LETITIA James. And see, this is the problem here. Their purpose in sending these lawsuits, it seems, was to interfere in this election. And so she was not expecting this result. Crazy. Cruella DeVille over here. I don't know who's doing her vocal coaching. I think she was working with some Broadway people because she's too dramatic for this whole thing with a dark suit on. This is not a game. Stop playing. Stop acting.
Expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result. And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before. We faced this challenge before, and we use the rule of law to fight back. And we are prepared to fight back once again. Because as the Attorney General of this great state, it is my job to protect and defend the rights of New Yorkers and the rule of law. And I will not shrink from that responsibility.
Notice the dramatic pauses. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about acting. She's not doing a very good job as an actor, if I'm giving her a note or two.
You see, between 2019 and 2021, the Office of the Attorney General took nearly 100 legal actions against the previous Trump administration.
100 legal actions and couldn't get the job done. You need to be like Jack Smith and go ahead and drop everything because it wasn't successful. See, that's the problem here. They just tried to throw everything at him and he was able to get away. And that angers her. That angers somebody like LETITIA.
Including when he attempted to cap the state and local tax, and when he sought to eliminate funds and grants for law enforcement officers here in the state of New York.
Stop taking pauses.
We fought to preserve DACA and protect the Affordable Care Act. We fought to prevent a question about citizenship from being on the census because we were concerned about the impact of funding, the lack of funding to the state of New York and how it would affect these programs. We beat the Muslim ban. We stopped the dismantling of the United States Postal Service. We challenged anti-LGBTQ plus efforts. We safeguarded key environmental policies, and we protected access to reproductive care, and we protected the right to organize. We worked around the clock to defend these basic rights with our Democratic colleagues across this nation. So as you can see, we know their playbook. We know Project 2025 before it was even published. And we have been working both in my office and with other Democratic AGs across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond.
She's just telling everything. She's been working with other Democratic AGs, along partisan lines. She's just snitching on herself right now. Like, this is ridiculous. Working with other Democratic AGs for what? This is a concerted effort. When they talk about lawfare, this is what they mean. She is a prime example of that.
And we have been working both in my office and with other Democratic AGs across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond to any attempt to roll back our rights. So here we are. We've studied their platforms. We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready. We're ready to respond to their attacks. We're ready to respond to any attempts to cut or eliminate any funding to the great state of New York, as the governor outlined. So despite what has happened on the national stage, we will continue to stand tall in the face of injustice, revenge, or retribution. We will continue to protect and our most vulnerable and marginalized among.
So what do you call this that you're doing right now? Is this not revenge? Is this not retribution? Yeah, it's gonna be a long day for you, though. 4 years, you obviously are hell bent on completing your mission. Somebody needs to tell you to stand down.
Revenge or retribution. We will continue to protect and our most vulnerable and marginalized amongst us, because it is my sworn duty and responsibility to lead that fight, working with the governor of this great state, Kathy Hochul. This is not the time to be fearful, New York, but faithful and steadfast, knowing that I, as the Attorney General, along with my entire team, we are guardians of the law, and we are prepared, my friends, to fight back. Thank you.
So there we have it. We have the speech of, I don't know, Cruella de Vil. Like, why is she like this? Find some hobbies. Get something better to do. Like, you tried and you failed to interfere with this election. Now you're having to pick things up after the election when you already know it's going to be a problem. I mean, what does she want this country to be? She wants this country to be a laughingstock? Or we've duly elected someone and now you want to potentially punish them or imprison them if possible while they're serving as president. You know how much of an embarrassment that would be? I think this is when the people who have been consulting with you, the ones that have been maybe giving you your marching orders, need to tell you to stand down, because this is ridiculous. But let me know what you think about it in the comments. Unfortunately, you know, it's just this vendetta. She's talking about revenge. Well, this sounds like revenge coming from a rogue New York Attorney General's office. But anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. The link is in the description. This is Faucette Media.